Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review and give my opinion on Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 8. It's titled Striking a Balance, whatever that means. I just want to say that I've been watching Married at First Sight Australia, and it is so good. These people are all gorgeous. Well, the majority of them are all gorgeous. The men are tall. The women are right up there with them. They're gorgeous people. Some of them get married in castles, and they're outrageous. The different wives sleeping with different husbands, and it's outrageous. They get married in castles. Well, some of them do. Some of them do. I love Married at First Sight Australia, and they get to meet every week to decide whether they're going to stay together or not. And I love that. If two people say they want to stay together, they stay together. If one say they want to stay and one wants to go, they still get to stay together. The only way they get to leave is if they both say they want to leave. I love it. Anyway, let's get to our U.S. Married at First Sight. First couple is Noy and Steve. I'm just going to say now, I can't stand Steve and I can't stand Mark. Okay, let's go. Okay, we see Noy and Steve. They're at the apartment, and Noy's working from home, and Steve is making breakfast. Steve basically says in a voiceover that he is not going to work a 9-to-5 job, but he will do his part to balance out the marriage. So my understanding is that he will be the housewife or the house husband, and if they need if they find themselves lacking money, he can go freelance to make up the income, I guess. That's how I'm interpreting what he's saying. And I also don't think that man wants any kids. He doesn't want kids. Kids will tie him down, and he doesn't want to be tied down. That's why he has no pets, and he's a nomad. He doesn't want any responsibility, no job, no pets, no kids. He wants a wife because he's lonely. He doesn't want to be out there in the sleeping in his car by himself. So they're having breakfast, and they're boring. They're talking about the housewarming party because every couple has to throw a housewarming party and invite friends and family over. Steve talks to Noy about how she feels about him being self-employed. He calls it self-employed. You're not self-employed because you're not making any money. You don't have any clients or anything, right? That's as far as I know, he doesn't. He just doesn't have a job. Okay, Steve said he is choosing not to work because he's developing himself. A few episodes back, or maybe last episode, he said he wasn't working because he wanted to find himself. Now he's saying he wants to develop himself. Okay, so he wants to develop himself, he wants to find himself. Okay. But I don't see him doing anything to develop himself. He's not taking any courses. He's not online. He's not going to seminars. Well, I don't see it. So I'm assuming that he's lying. He's not. Oh, next we see them cooking. They're preparing food for their guests to arrive for this housewarming party. So the friends arrive and they are eating and drinking. The food looks good. And Noy talks about the first time she saw Steve. And they talk about how they gave each other the exact same gift. They talk about kids having kids. And then they split off, and Steve and Noy's friends, female friends, they go into the bedroom to talk to Steve. And Noy stays in the kitchen or the dining room area to talk to his Steve's friends. And Steve's friends ask Noy about their issues. And Noy tells them that her concern for Steve not working is Steve. Yeah, she told him about her concern about Steve not working. And his friends are telling her that Steve has a great network. Okay, so he has a great network. How long is he going to have this great network for? He's been out of work for how long now? Maybe a year? When is he going to go back to work? When is he going to get in touch with these network people? I mean, are these networks just sitting around waiting for Steve to get in touch with them? No, I don't think so. And then another friend said they're hiring sales engineers all the time. Okay, they're hiring sales engineers all the time. Are they gonna be hiring Steve when they see this big gap in his resume? Employers don't like to see gaps in resume, and why would they hire Steve? Steve's what, 38 years old, and he's out in the wild, sleeping in his car, traveling here, traveling there, not brushing up on his skills. What about these fresh young people coming out of school with engineering degrees and have experience, a little bit of experience behind them? They're gonna choose them instead of looking at Steve. Steve is 38 years old and he's a nomad. And he has gaps in his resume. Are they gonna choose Steve? And Steve he's not brushed up on his engineering skills. Things change constantly in this world. So is he up to par on things that's happening in the world? He can't compete with these people that's just graduating school or graduated school a couple of years ago, and they're young and they're smart and they're up on what's going on, and he's out in no man's land being a nomad and a vagabond. He's gonna compete with these people? No. That's crazy. Yeah, they can try to big up Steve all they want to, but no. He's gonna have big gaps in his resume. Employers don't like that. So the friends are trying to make Steve look marketable, and it makes even more concerned because Noy's even more concerned because she's thinking, okay, so he's marketable and he just doesn't want to get a job. So that looks bad to her. It doesn't make him look any better in her eyes. It makes him look worse to her. So Noy's friends told Steve that it's not in Noy's plan to be the primary breadwinner, and Steve told them that it will never get to that. It is at that right now. Noy is working. She has a steady income. He is not working. He doesn't have steady income. He may have savings, but that's not steady income coming in. So she is the primary breadwinner. She's the only one with a paycheck. I'm pretty sure she has a savings also. She doesn't seem the type to not have savings, because she learned from when she was growing up that she was poor. So I'm pretty sure she has a savings. She has a steady job. She has money coming in. She's budgeting. She's not living above her means. And he's just not doing anything because he has money in his savings. But guess what? Steve is sitting here, right? And there's a big bucket of water right here, right? And then there's this little hole in the bucket, and the water is trickling out that hole. So the level of the water is going down steadily. But he's too lazy to get up off of his butt to go get a pail of water to pour more water into the bucket. That's what he's doing. He doesn't have an income coming in, and his bank account is going down slowly but surely. His savings account is going down slowly but surely because he's spending money, but nothing is coming in. She is the primary breadwinner right now. So in his confessional, Steve said he wants someone to be with him for who he is. But he said that a few times that he does not want to work because he's trying to find himself. So he doesn't know who he is. So how do you want somebody to be with you for who you are when you don't even know who you are? It's crazy. I don't know. Steve, you know what it is? Steve is lazy. That's all. He's just lazy. And I understand it. I want to retire. I'm 55 years old. I have 10 more years to go. I don't want to do 10 more years. I want to retire. I want to sell this condo. I want to move to Delaware where there's no sales tax. I want to buy me a nice little house, maybe a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I want to get me a kitten and a little puppy. I don't want to do what the hell I want to do. I want to retire too. I get it. I understand. But I'm 55 years old. Steve, you're 38 years old. Get a job. My advice to Noy is to put her ring on the counter and leave. Go. Don't stay with him. Go. Anyway, next we see Steve, and he's talking to the camera, and he said Noy offered to cook him dinner for the first time. He made sure he said for the first time. She is working. You're not doing shit. Cook the food for the first time. And he even had a conversation with her saying that, and she's telling him that, she has to play catch up because she was gone on this honeymoon for so long. So now she has to play catch up. So I cooked the food. He talking about she was cooking dinner for him for the first time. No, you're the houseman, or the what do you call it? The housekeeper, or the what do you call it? What do you call women that work at home? The housewife. So you cook all the food and stop bitching. For the first time she's cooking. She shouldn't be cooking at all. She's working. You're not. He said that since he's been doing all the cooking, you're supposed to do all the cooking. You're the housekeeper. I mean, not the housekeeper. You're the what do you call it? What do you call it? The housewife. Yeah, you're the housewife. So you should be doing all the cooking. Stop bitching. She's working. You're not working. What doesn't he understand about that? Told you he was lazy. Anyway, Steve is mad because his noodles got soggy. She was making noodles for him and it got soggy. And Noah's mad because he's bitching that the noodles are soggy. So she takes her dog, she takes a backpack and she leaves. And she doesn't say anything to him. She just leaves out. And he says he texted her and she didn't respond. I wouldn't respond either. Is my crown crooked? Okay. He said he doesn't understand why she's upset. I understand why she's upset. She's upset because he doesn't have a job. He doesn't want kids. And he's bitching about soggy noodles. That's why she's upset. He's not only lazy, he's clueless. Anyway, the next day we see Steve making the bed like a good housewife. And then we see a clip of him on the phone with his friends talking shit about Noy. What's he saying? He's saying something about, is this how she's going to act over pasta? What will she do when they have children? That's what he's saying to his friend on the phone about her. On his voiceover, Steve said that Noy spent the night somewhere else, so she didn't come home. He said he has been calling and texting, but she has not responded. He claimed he will apologize if she just reach out to him. Later that day, Noy and the dog shows up. Noy still looks pissed. Noy said in her confessional that she went back to her apartment for the night. And she's afraid to talk to him because she might say something that she may regret. Steve told Noy that he doesn't know why she was mad. He said he put it together and realized it was because of the cooking thing. He said it's been 24 hours and he hasn't gotten a chance to say how he feels. Liar. Liar. We saw you on the phone with your friend bitching about Noy. And God knows who else you called him bitch to. He's so full of crap. Can't stand him. So this liar, he's lecturing her about leaving. Also, she posted something and he asked her if it was in reference to what happened. And she said, yeah. All she basically said on the post was, make sure you're getting what you want from your marriage. That's all she basically said. Noy told Steve that he should have said thank you for cooking instead of bitching about it. She didn't use those words. I'm using those words. She told him he was rude, and it's not the first time he's been rude. She's fed up with this fool. He told her she wasn't communicating in a healthy way. He told her she gave him the silent treatment, then she ghosted him and walked out of the apartment. He told her if she needed time alone, she should ask for it. She got to ask for time alone? Psh, I wish you would. He's crazy. I would have walked out too. He's such a hypocrite. He told her she was posting stuff on social media, letting people know that she wasn't happy in her marriage. He was talking on the phone to his friend, letting people know that he wasn't happy in his marriage. And we don't know who else he called. We saw him make that one phone call. Who else did he call? He's a hypocrite. He did the exact same. She posted something and he was making phone calls. So get out of here. He told her that this is not acceptable. Who the hell is he talking to? The nerve of that vagabond. How about it's unacceptable for a 38-year-old man to be so lazy he doesn't want to go out and get a job? How about that's unacceptable? The nerve. See, they got the perfect wife for him because Noah just sat there and she just listened to his bull crap. Who else would do that? Who? Steve is full of crap. Anyway, next we have Katina and Elijah Wan. We see Elijah Wan working out, and of course he has no shirt on. Why can't he work out with his shirt on? I think he's advertising himself. He's advertising to get some kind of endorsement, or he's advertising for female attention. And all those tattoos all over him. He might as well have just gotten some paint and just spray all over his body, because you can't even tell what the tattoos say what they are. It just looks like blotches. You can't tell what they are. My sister has a tattoo of a scorpion. She's a Scorpio. So she has a tattoo of a scorpion on her chest. You can see what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any tattoos, but if I were to get tattoos, I probably would have maybe a little, a heart behind my ears. I've seen those little tattoos behind the ears, and I think those are cute. Or something like that, a butterfly behind the ears, or something tiny and cute. He got tattoos all over him, and you don't know what they are. You don't know what you're looking at. They're just black blotches. Doesn't make sense to me. So he puts his shirt on, thank God. And then him and his friend, they're talking, and they're talking about Katina. And Elijah Wan does not want, he tells her, he doesn't want to, he tells his friend, doesn't want to have sex with her. Well, he doesn't say that, but that's basically what he said. He doesn't want to have sex with Katina. And his excuse is, he doesn't want to look at the process differently, whatever the hell that means. Is Elijah Wan that deep, or is he just not attracted to her? Her body is just straight down. Usually a woman is curvy, like an hourglass, right? But her body's just straight down. So maybe he's not attracted to her. Elijah Wan said Katina went to the store and came back with only bread and water. He said she was gone for 2 hours. I think he's lying. He's lying. She can't be that bad. You mean tell me she didn't even get chips or fruits? Not even that? I don't believe him. I think he's lying. Next we see Katina. She's in the apartment with her friend, and Katina is wearing another freaking bodysuit. I wish she'd get rid of those things. She need to burn them. They don't flatter her body at all. And that damn wig. Do she take the wig off? Do she take the wig off and wash her hair? Do she wash the wig? She needs to get rid of that wig. At least braid your hair. Go somewhere and get your hair braided. Get some nice long plaits or something. That wig, it just looks hideous and it looks like it smells. I don't like it. Anyway, they talk about Elijah Wan. Her and her friend, they're talking about Elijah Wan. And Katina loves everything about Elijah Wan. She said he was cute when she first saw him. She loved the little striptease dance he did at the wedding. She loved the conversations they had. And the friend told Katina that when they met with Elijah Wan for brunch, Elijah Wan would not shut up. And she thinks the reason he wouldn't shut up is because he didn't want them asking him any questions. And that's probably true. I didn't even think about that. That's probably true. I'm liking this friend. She's smart. She's smart and she's pretty. How is she friends with Katina? She need to help Katina with her outfits and with that wig. And the friend said something I didn't know. She said that Elijah Wan told them that Katina is the first black girl he ever dated. Oh, I was shocked. Oh my gosh. He had told them that he never dated a black woman before. And the reason is because they didn't find him attractive. Liar. The reason is because you don't find him attractive. So Katina tries to defend him, of course. She said she's the first black girl he's ever been in a serious relationship with. That's not what he said. He said that she is the first black girl he has ever dated. Not the first black girl he ever been in a serious relationship with. So come on, Tina, stop it. Then she's gonna say he's half Irish and he has a mohawk. What are you trying to say? He doesn't look black? The friend says, I love the friend. She says, Elijah one looks black. The friend says, does he know he looks black? And Tina said, yeah, he knows he looks black. Because maybe he thinks he looks white. That's why he date white women. Only white women. I mean, you can date white women if you want, but damn, only white women? No black women? No. And that's probably another reason why he's not attracted to her. I said the first reason he's not attracted, my crown, my tiara, it's slipping. It's crooked, damn it. Okay, I'll leave it alone. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay. That's probably why he's not attracted to her. He's not into the what is it? What do I want to say? Oh, he's not into kinky hair. Even though he has kinky hair, he doesn't probably like kinky hair on his women. And he probably don't even know what's under that wig. That's probably scaring him too. Okay, so next we see Elijah one. He's bringing home food to the apartment because they're preparing for their housewarming party. And he has to bring home the food because Tina can't cook. So he's bringing chicken home, fried chicken home. When Elijah one's friend walks into the home, Katina lies and tells him that she did the cooking. She cooked the chicken. So then her friends show up and they do shots. And Katina is talking to her friends and she told them that that her and Elijah one haven't had sex yet. This is a different friend. This is not the same friend that was there earlier talking about Elijah one not liking black women or dating black women. And she said the reason Elijah one doesn't want to have sex is because he wants a more of an emotional connection. And the friends they're not buying that. They're not happy about that. They're like, what? They're not buying that. Katina friends talks to Elijah one, and Elijah one's friend talks to Katina. And I'm not here for the chit chat, so I skip all this talking. The next scene, we see Elijah one is about to help Katina unload groceries from her car. He removes his hat, and lo and behold, he cut his hair. And it looks good. He looks like a grown-up. The only thing is the hair doesn't match. The hair on his head does not match the hair on his face. The hair on his face hangs off. You can just take it and pull it because it hangs off. He needs to trim that down so you can see more of a wavy quality close to the hair on his head, I think. Because the hair on his face looked unkempt and just ugly. Okay? But Katina likes it. She likes anything Elijah does. Next, we see Mark and Lindsay. We see Mark playing catch with a friend, and they are talking about Lindsay. Mark says Lindsay is caring, helpful, and loving, but there's always a but with this damn Mark. He says, but she's loud, and she says things in public that makes him uncomfortable. I say that if it's a deal breaker, talk to her about it. Sit her down someplace nice and quiet when you two are alone and talk to her about it. To say, Lindsay, I like you. We're having a good time. Enjoy being with you and everything. But sometimes you say things in public that embarrasses me. Talk to her about it. Open up your mouth. Talk. Use your words. Talk. Communicate. What's wrong with you? And if she's not willing to tone it down, put your ring on the counter and walk away. I'm 100% sure that she's putting up with crap from him that she doesn't like. Mark needs to grow up here. Because I'm pretty sure she's putting up with a whole bunch of crap from him that she can't stand. But she's doing it anyway. I can't stand Mark. All he does is whine, bitch, moan, and gripe. He has done nothing for Lindsay. Absolutely nothing for her. Meanwhile, she's breaking her back trying to do everything for him. And he's still talking about the plane, what happened on the plane. Every single episode he talks about this. Anyway, next we see them and they're getting ready for their housewarming party. And their theme is pizza. Everybody's going to make their own pizza. And Lindsay chose pizza. Why? She chose pizza because it's what Mark likes. You see how she does things for him? What does he do for her? All he does is bash her. Whenever he gets a chance, he bashes her. So the friends arrive, they play a game, and they're having fun. So Lindsay talks with Mark's friends about Mark. She tells them how stressed out he has been and how she just wants to help him. Meantime, Mark is talking to Lindsay's friends and he asks them for advice on how to talk to her. Wimp. Total wimp. You live with her. You don't know how to sit down and talk to her? I don't understand how he's 37 years old and he doesn't know how to have a conversation with somebody. I think he needs to grow up here. Next, we're going to come back to Lindsay and Mark later on, but right now we're going to Michael and Jasmina. Okay, Michael goes to talk to his sister. He basically tells his sister the issues they had on the honeymoon. His sister gave him some basic advice. I really wasn't listening to them, so I can't even tell you what they said. But I have decided to apologize to Mike. Sorry, Mike, for calling you a narcissist. I'm going to give him a clean slate and we're going to start all over again because I thought Michael and Jasmina were a good couple from the very first, not the very first episode, the matchmaking episode. But when I watch other people's video, they're saying that she's not into him. She doesn't like him. And now I'm kind of thinking that she doesn't like him because they don't hold hands. They don't really touch each other. They don't kiss. There's no affection between them and they just don't, between the two of them, and they don't even touch each other. So I'm thinking maybe she's not into him. But we're going to start with a clean slate with Michael. So Michael, sorry for calling you a narcissist. We're going to start a clean slate all over again. So next we see Jasmina. She goes to visit her friend Sam. In the confessional, she said that the fake pastor, I call him the FP, helped her and Mike to start over on a clean slate, but it didn't fix their communication problem. Jasmina tells Sam about Mike's tone and that she didn't like it. See, last week she was saying he was aggressive and he was yelling. This time she's just talking about his tone. Now, if I say, I don't want to go, or if I say, I don't want to go, there's two different tones. So maybe he wasn't yelling. Maybe he just got firmer with his tone and she didn't like that. I mean, if I say, come here, then I go, come here. There's two different tones. I'm not yelling. I just changed my tone. So, did he yell, Jasmina, or did he just change his tone because you guys were disagreeing about something? So now I don't know if Mike actually yelled at her or if he was being aggressive or he just changed his tone. But we're going to start on a clean slate anywho. Also, she told us, her friend, that she didn't like his tone. And Sam told Jasmina, Sam is her friend, told Jasmina that she doesn't like anybody's tone. So she just probably doesn't like the elevation of somebody's voice when they're talking to her. Jasmina said, no, don't use a tone, just talk to me. So I guess she just doesn't like people to elevate their voice a little bit if they're feeling frustrated or not being heard, or if they're feeling annoyed or aggravated. She just doesn't like her raising the tone. Jasmina told her about Mike not telling her about his female roommate. And she basically told the friend that she doesn't trust Mike. Jasmina told her friend that Michael always thinks he's right, and the friend told Jasmina, you always think you're right. And Jasmina said she can admit it when she's wrong, and the friend said, you don't admit when you're wrong often. And Jasmina says, it's because I'm not wrong often. I don't think her friend agreed with Jasmina. I don't think she's feeling, she knows Jasmina, so she knows the type of person Jasmina is. Jasmina doesn't admit to being wrong. And Jasmina doesn't like people's tone to raise a little bit. if they're feeling annoyed or aggravated. So she knows Jasmina. So I'm thinking now maybe Jasmina blew it out of proportion. I don't know. Anyway, next we see Michael and Jasmina preparing for their housewarming party, and they're joking around with each other, and they seem to be getting along. And the guests arrive, and I love Jasmina's dog. I think it's a poodle. Pretty little dog, so cute. Anyway, they're drinking, and they're playing charades, and they're having a good time. And both Jasmina and Mike, they seem to be very competitive. They talk about how the marriage has been going. Oh gosh. Excuse me. Okay, both Jasmina and Mike said they're both competitive. So Jasmina and Michael's sister, they go into the bedroom to have a little chit chat. And they talk about Michael, and she really doesn't have anything negative to say about Michael to the sister. Of course not. She should have asked the sister about the two roommates, the two female roommates, but she didn't want to rock the boat, I guess, because she didn't ask the sister anything about that. Michael talked to Jasmina's friends. He asked them for advice on how to turn things around when things go left. And I don't want to get into their little chit chat because whatever they said didn't even mean anything to me. Now, next up, Alyssa and Chris. I thought we were done with these two. I thought they were going to just fade into the background and we wouldn't see them again. Anyway. We see Chris coming home to his house, and his puppy greets him at the door. Chris FaceTime with his mother to let her know what happened in Puerto Rico, and to let her know that he's getting a divorce. I'm not gonna get into what she said. Next, we see Alyssa. She's at some outdoor restaurant with a friend, and she's bashing Chris, like she always does. And she's telling her friend a bunch of lies. And I'm proud of the producer. Whenever she tells a lie, they show a clip showing that she's lying, and I loved it. Thank you. I'm glad they did that, because she threatened them and said, if I look bad on this show, I'm gonna be pissed. Who cares? Be pissed. Like somebody really care if you're pissed. Nobody cares, girl. So at the end of, when she's done talking or spewing her lies, the producer asks her what's next for her, and she says she'll probably pick up and move to Texas, but she got to talk to her psychic first. Bye, Alyssa. Good luck, girl. So what I want both her and Chris to get on the show next season. I want them to find her an Adonis and see how that works out for her. Find her somebody that is so good looking that she's not going to want to take her eyes off of him, and see how that goes for her. And I want them to find Chris someone who's not superficial, because Chris deserves a second chance, because they owe it to Chris. They owe it to him, because this chick, she assassinated his character. So they owe him. As far as I'm concerned, they owe him. Next, we see Chris talking to the camera, and he's saying that everyone is meeting up at the bowling alley, and he has to tell the group that him and Alyssa are getting a divorce. So, next scene is all the couples. They're at the bowling alley, and they're eating and drinking and bowling, and they all are talking together, and they start talking about men leaving the toilet seat up. And Steve is talking just to hear himself talk, because nobody knows what he's talking about. So Lindsay cuts in. I don't blame her, because what the hell was he talking about? So Lindsay cuts in, and Jasmina told her to let Steve talk. Why? Let him finish what he was saying. So he groaned on and on and on. We don't know what he's talking about. I don't think anybody knows what the hell he's talking about. And when he's the next scene, we see Alyssa and Chris. They arrive, and everybody talks about their visit with the FP, the fake pastor. And Lindsay, I don't know why Alexa is talking. Anyway, Lindsay says something, and Katina rolled her eyes. And Lindsay asked her why she was rolling her eyes, and Katina told Lindsay not to talk to her. So Chris tells the group that him and Alyssa are getting a divorce. Alyssa said she tried her best and she wanted this really badly, and she starts to cry, like always. So later they're all bowling again, and Lindsay asks crybaby Mark what's wrong with him, because I guess he was giving her the cold shoulder. And his exact words, this is what he says. He says, "I didn't like the way you spoke like that with her." This is a grown man. What is he, 37 years old? This is the way he talks. He said, "I didn't like the way you spoke like that with her." This is how he communicates. Mike told Lindsay that she shouldn't have said, "Don't roll your eyes," to Katina. He said he felt awkward because she said that he felt awkward. And they start to argue. My take on it is Katina is rude as hell to Lindsay because she does not like Lindsay. Then again, Lindsay kind of got back what she gave to Alyssa when they were in Puerto Rico, and Alyssa was at the dining room table. She was at the table talking, and Lindsay did like this. And Alyssa said, "Don't do that when I'm talking, Lindsay." And Lindsay said, "I'm not doing anything." So she kind of got it back, She got it back to her. But why did Mark take it so seriously? Crybaby Mark walks off and tells her to have another beer, trying to insinuate that she's drunk. Then he says to the camera that Lindsay can't let things go. She can't bury the hatchet. He is the one that can't let things go and can't bury the hatchet. Every daggone episode, he brings up the plane incident. He's the one. I can't stand this man. So Lindsay goes into the bathroom. Mark sits on the steps and Chris comes and sits beside him. And Mark's bitches about Lindsay. And the producers, they go into the bathroom to talk to Lindsay. Because none of the other witches, did I say witches? I meant cast members, like Lindsay or care enough about her to go check up on her. But Lindsay is venting to the producer, and I know how she feels. She does everything for this moron, everything. And she asks for nothing in return. And he does nothing for her. He can't even have her back during an incident. All he had to do was say to Lindsay, "Don't worry about her rolling her eyes, baby. It's not worth it. Just support her. Just have some sympathy for her. Console her." But no, he's awkward. "I don't like that. I'm uncomfortable. It's awkward. Don't do that." Instead of going over to her and saying, "Baby, don't worry about it. If she roll her eyes, she roll her eyes. Don't worry about it. Just ignore her." No, he cares about how he feels. He doesn't care about how she feels. So Lindsay's in the bathroom and she says, "He is an idiot." I agree. She said, "He's not a strong man." I truly agree. "I'm feeling awkward. I don't like that. Don't do that. I'm uncomfortable." Shut up. You're a grown-ass man. You're uncomfortable because she asked her why she rolled her eyes. Oh my God. She said his life is in a crisis, which is true. She said he's she said she's accepting him. She's accepting him for all. I can't talk. She's accepting him for all his flaws. True. Lindsay says he makes $60,000 a year selling gym membership. She said, "Simmer down." I love that when she said that. She goes, "Simmer down." Mark is still talking shit about Lindsay. He's saying she had too much to drink. He's saying the group don't like her. And guess what? The group feeds off of you, how you treat her. If you put your arms around her and talk to her in a nice way, and the group feeds off of the way you treat her, Mark. He's so self-absorbed. He only cares about the way he feels. He doesn't care about her feelings at all. So Lindsay's still in the ladies' room, and she said she's not going out there. I guess the producers are trying to get her to come out. She said she ain't going out there. She said she hates her husband. She said she's sick of dealing with his bullshit. And I am too, Lindsay. She said he is a pathetic effing loser. I agree. And she said, I'm all in until I'm out. She said when she's out, you'll never get her back. And she's ranting and raving, and she's getting louder and louder. And I think he can hear her. Then she started talking about his bedroom failures. Come to find out, no pun intended, Mark does not know how to pleasure a lady. Lindsay, put your ring on the counter and leave. That's what you do. Put your ring on the counter and leave. Anyway, Lindsay is still upset in the ladies' room. She's still talking to the producers. And after her ranting, the show went off. And the previews for next week, it looks like they're back on good. Mark and Lindsay are back on good terms all over again. 40 minutes, okay? So this is the end of my review / opinion / recap. I will be back next week for another review. Thank you for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.